What's going on, champs and champions? It's FireMonkey here, and we're going to be talking about 3 upcoming medallions coming to Fortnite later during Chapter 6 Season 4, and one of those is going to be none other than Jason Voorhees. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Firstly, we're going to talk about the more boring medallions first, the ones that are more expected, and then we'll end off the video by actually talking about Jason. But firstly, how do we know these medallions are real? Well, it's because of this image you can see on the right side of the screen, which showcases cheats they're using internally to spawn in these medallions while they're testing it. As you can see, we have an 8th birthday medallion, we have a Megazord medallion, which he also is going to have a spray that's the Megazord spray that is related to the medallion, at least in the name. And then of course on top of that, we have ourselves the Jason Voorhees medallion at the very top, which is labeled as Injured Prey. To start us off, what is the 8th birthday medallion? Well, this is going to be related to upcoming 8th birthday quests that get added in a future update because, Epic Games like celebrating their birthday events in Fortnite, and it's also wild to see that Fortnite is now 8 years old. And also, don't flame me for forgetting that there were mini shields here, okay? Listen, we don't gotta talk about it. But simply put, that medallion is going to have a very simple effect when you actually obtain it. It is just going to allow you to get a birthday present with every single elimination you get, which is a reworked version of last year's 7th birthday medallion, which gave you a balloon every time you kind of like jumped or got an elimination or something like that. Instead of doing balloons this time around, they're giving you birthday presents, which is going to have rare loot inside of it every single time you actually go about using it, which is pretty nice. Next up, we have the Megazord scanner medallion, which is most likely going to get added when all the Megazord bonus rewards are added fully to the game. And even though it's currently unfinished, based on the codename alone, it feels like it's going to work similar to the Emma Frost medallion / the Blitz Reveal medallion, where every like 15 to 20 to 30 seconds, it will ping everyone in a nearby radius, similar to how it works if you hire like a scout NPC, how every once in a while will actually ping nearby enemies. It appears that is how Megazord's medallion is actually going to work, and I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense for them to go ahead not only just to give this medallion to Megazord, but to also make it a reskin version of a different medallion, because I mean that's what they kind of do a lot of the time. I mean, if we pay attention to, like I mentioned, the actual Emma Frost medallion being a Blitz medallion right now, it makes sense for them to kind of rework it and rework the old systems to kind of match the newer aesthetics or whatever they're trying to go for. But then finally, the 3rd medallion we have to talk about, and probably the reason why you clicked on this video, is the Jason Voorhees Injured Prey medallion. Now, based on the information I was able to find in the files, I do want to mention that this is kind of my best interpretation. There could be things that are incorrect here that could change around. We had a few things related to this. So firstly, Injured Prey, based on the name alone, makes it sound like something that is going to relate to, having an enemy that you're fighting being injured in some way and having some special effect when they're already injured. Whether that be something like, giving them a slowness effect or something like that, that could be determined later down the line. But of course, based on the files and based on the information we currently have, it appears there are 2 main values to keep in mind. One is EHP, which is set to 75, which I think means effective health points or effective HP. Whether that includes shield, it's currently unknown. I assume it just bases itself on the normal HP of the enemy, and it appears that when an enemy that you're fighting has an HP value of 75 or below, the effect will actually trigger. And then we have a 2D max distance value of 10,000, which if we convert it to meters, appears to be around a 100-meter radius based on how Epic Games and Unreal Engine actually handles these different type of radiuses. So based on those 2 little lines alone and the name of the actual medallion, it appears that the upcoming Jason Voorhees medallion, Injured Prey, is going to have a special effect where if an enemy you're attacking has less than 75 HP and they're only around 100 meters away from you or closer, then you'll actually be able to have a marker of some sort on them that will tell you their exact location. Whether it's going to be the simple, like ping diamond that it shows up above some people's heads when we have different medallions, or if it's going to be something where it's actually like a fully blown outline of the person, it's currently unknown. But it does appear like a lot of the medallions this season, Megazord and Jason, all focus on tracking as the main focal aspect. However, I do want to keep in mind that even though we know it's a Jason Voorhees medallion and that it's called Injured Prey and we have this 2D max distance value and effective health points value or whatever else EHP might actually mean, it doesn't mean that the medallion is going to fully work this way. There is some other stuff I noticed in the files that don't really make too much sense to me, but they could have some special effect later down the line that gets added once we get more and more files, such as the fact that this Injured Prey medallion is supposed to not only put a special effect on enemies that you're attacking, medallion, but is also supposed to put a special effect on you yourself. Now, I'm not for sure what the self part of it actually activating is going to be. Maybe it's something that tells the game, hey, this effect is activated, don't activate other effects at the same time, or maybe it's something where you get a bonus damage buff against enemies that have that tag, you know, have that tracker on them right now. There is still a lot of vague areas, but hopefully this gave you a generalized idea of what the medallion's most likely going to do once it does get added to the game for Fortnitemares, which is what Jason's going to be related to. We also know some other stuff is going on with Fortnitemares, such as Horde Rush returning, so I'll be having more videos in the near future talking about everything you need to know in upcoming updates to the game, but I thought I would go ahead and, you know, recap this information for you guys, because while it is known that Jason is supposed to be coming to the game due to the medallion, I haven't really seen anyone, and maybe it's just because I don't really look at Fortnite content too much, that has actually gone through and dived into what the medallion might actually do. I've mainly just seen people be like, oh hey, a medallion's coming to the game, and not even mention stuff like the codename Injured Prey to begin with. Until next time, however, like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another upload, so peace out.